for them. I'm definitely not as gung-ho as him about violence. I definitely don't like guns, and I wouldn't kill as many people as he has. Or any people, in fact. I haven't. There's police sitting over there. No, I mean, he's, at heart, he is a good guy, and I'd like to think that I'm a good guy, or try to be, and I think he's trying to be a good guy, a moral person, but in his world, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do. If you remember him back before any of this happened, he was a great older brother, and he was a good student, and he'd do anything for them. So I think at heart he is that guy. And if anything, I'd probably want to be more like Bellamy, just not in his situation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again.
Hello.
Okay, so how long do you want to be playing Bellamy Blake?
I'm not too sure.
How many seasons are we talking? Because Supernatural just renewed.
I know, man. They should be 12 seasons.
So we're going to see you around for like 15 seasons, 6.
Oh my god.
Many.
I think, I can't grow a full beard yet, I don't, but as soon as I can grow a full beard, that'll be the day I stop playing Bellamy. And when that happens, I don't know. I'm half Asian, so this very patchy right here.
So for a really long time.
Possibly. No, I mean, I really like Bellamy. He's one of the best characters I've ever played. So, I mean, as long as the story is staying true and we're driving forward with that same impetus and everyone wants to be there, that's the best thing about this show, is that people want to be there. As soon as people don't want to be there, then it becomes hard. So as long as everyone has the passion for it, then I'm happy to play it. Happy to play it.
So you're going to have passion for a really long time.
Maybe. Let's see. Unless I grow a beard. Hello.
Hey Bob, so a couple weeks ago I stumbled upon the video that you guys did about the What Men Think.
Oh yeah.
And I just wanted to tell you that, you are an amazing actor. And to anybody who says anything different doesn't know what they're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then my question, piggybacking off of my fellow red shirt, did they tell you to do an American accent when they did this show? Because, with the world,
Yeah.
our accents might not exist.
Well, I mean, no one told me to, but when I go in for an audition for an American show, play an American guy, I guess, I just did it. But it was funny though, when I went in there and I was the only person going in to audition for Bellamy at the last stages. And there was about 6 other girls that were auditioning for Octavia. And they're all working on it. They're like, are you playing Bellamy? And I was like, oh, well, I'm going in for Bellamy. And they're like, is there anyone else here? And I was like, no, it's just me. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. I could play your sister, couldn't I? And I was like, sure. I was like, do you have an Australian accent? I'm like, what? Is this Australian? I was like, yeah, he is. Anyway, good luck, bye. No, I told them I was going to be American.
Hi. So Jamie's told stories about being really sleepy on set and just kind of being slightly delirious during times. Do you have any funny stories aside from your rock story about things that have happened on set that you just find amusing?
Look, when you get into the 16th hour of a shooting day and it's 4 a.m., things get very peculiar, not just amongst cast, but amongst crew. And I've had laughing fits about the most disgusting, absurd things you've ever heard. Yeah, I don't think it's really, it's not right for me to talk about right here. But Lindsay's always sleeping. I guess some people say that I snore, but I don't believe them. No, there's always that kind of stuff. It's kind of funny when you're sitting there and it's someone else's take. Actually, I'm not on the 100, but there was this one time I was working on another show, and I didn't even realize I fell asleep during a take, and I started snoring. They had to kick me off set. Yeah. Sleep deprivation will make you do crazy things. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. So I was wondering, Pop Funko has announced they're probably planning on making pop dolls for the 100.
Oh, cool.
Have you seen those little pop dolls?
Yeah, I've seen some custom-made ones. But...
Yeah. So I was wondering what you think about that, and what you think about having like a little pop doll of your character.
What are they called?
They're called pop dolls.
Pop ball.
Pop dolls. So
Dolls.
Yeah.
I thought you said, how do you feel about having a little pop ball? I was like, that's a strange thing. Pop doll. Yes. I think they're cool. Like I see them around and stuff like that. I've seen a couple of like Frieza. I used to be a Dragon Ball Z fan when I was a kid. Well, used to be, still am. But yeah, I think it would depend on the outfit. I think the one that I saw that was a custom-made one that someone made of Bellamy was the Mount Weather Bellamy, and like me in all beige just isn't a great look. So maybe they could take his season 3 jacket. But I think it'd be cool. I think Lexa looks really cool, and like the Grounderwear and Clark. So yeah, why not? Make a little village and role play. Thank you.
I have not seen an episode of The 100 in my entire life.
That's all right.
Could you tell me, preferably in the form of a haiku, why I should start?
What's wait. Haiku is like 535 or something like that.
575.
575. Well, I'm not going to do a haiku. There you go. What was the question? I can't count like that. Come on. I get told what to say usually. There's a script in front of me that tells me what to say. You realize this?
That's fine. Tell me a good...
Synopsis?
Convince me to watch the show.
Convince you to watch the show? Well, I don't know much about... I need to know a lot more about you as a person. Tell me, convince me of who you are as a person. I will convince you of this television show.
You know, so a little bit about myself. I like long walks on the beach.
Well, you know what? We've got a long walk in a sandy desert, season 2. You'll love that. Very simple. Well, there's a lot of scenery. There is water. There's some water. Yeah. Go on. Tell me more about you. I need to know.
You know, big fan of science fiction. Big fan of action.
Well, I mean, we do have a lot of writers that come from Battlestar Galactica. We have a lot of Battlestar Galactica performers because I think that was shot in Vancouver. So a lot of them have jumped over onto our show, which is cool. So they bring a lot of weight. I mean, I guess initially the show was pitched as a cross between Lost and like Lord of the Flies kind of thing. But each season kind of develops. So it's not necessarily one theme. So I know that in terms of the sci-fi stuff, season 3 is starting to work its way into, I would say, a Matrix type world. And season 2 is very sci-fi with all the blood stuff, right? I didn't realize how sci-fi that was until my mum told me how crazy she thought it was. I just thought it was a novel thing.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was a terrible description. But you know what? I hope you enjoyed that long walk on the beach. Hello?
If you were to be a viewer instead of an actor, who would be your favorite character on the show?
As a viewer, it's hard to pick anyone that's innocent and is stuck to their morals, but I would have to say, as a viewer and as things that I like, I'd probably have to support Lincoln. I just wish that he had a strong voice. Because Lincoln has been a pacifist. Well, not necessarily, he's a great fighter, but he's always fought for peace. And he's not raised a hand unless he's been forced to. And he's also the one that is, he's the beacon for trying to bring the two clans, or the 13 clans together on the ground floor, not in a political way, but actually living the life and trying to understand. So, yeah, I would probably align with Lincoln's viewpoint.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
I was wondering, how does your relationship with Marie, is it similar or more different from your relationship with Bellamy and Octavia?
It's actually, over the years, it's been 3 years, it's kind of crazy. But over the years, I've definitely developed that kind of brother-sister relationship. I'm the youngest of four, so I've never had like a younger sister. But yeah, Marie, I care about her greatly, and I worry about her from time to time, you know. But she is just such a tenacious little woman, and you know, I respect her. She's very much like a character, I'd say. But yeah, there are times where we were traveling together to San Diego, and literally Ricky and I, like older brother and boyfriend, were like, Marie, have you picked up your bags? Marie, have you done this? Have you checked in yet, Marie? We're gonna get to the flight. She's like, yeah guys, I'm coming, Jesus. Alright. We're like, seriously? We're like your fictional brother and boyfriend, and we're acting like we are in real life. So yeah, sometimes, you know, that happens. Art imitates life, vice versa.
Thank you.
All this side.
Hi.
Hey.
So if you could describe the show in one word, what would it be?
I mean, the first one that comes to me is intense, but I feel like one word is really tough. Maybe survival. Yeah. What about you? What would you say?
Like one or even 3 words.
You're saying 3 words now? What? You just letting yourself off the hook?
Sure.
What is that? 1 word, go, boom.
Okay.
It's tough, isn't it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I just work here. Yeah, see? Hard, right? Really hard. Humid? Humid? 1 word's really tough. Let's throw it out here. Anyone got 1 word apart from humid? I don't know what you're talking about. Humid, yes, I know. Alright, that's a tough question. But yeah, human. Wow. I'll think on it as I'm thinking about other stuff, and then I'll try and think of one great word. And everyone will be like, wow, never heard of that word before. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I was wondering what the hardest word to say is in an American accent.
Do you know what? I was watching the show the other day, and there was one word that actually sounded so Australian to me, but but they seemed to think it was fine. What was that word again? I mean, it's usually a couplet of words, like things that have to go together. Like sometimes saying things like "our world" is tough for me, because I got to really get my mouth around it. But one that Elijah and I did have trouble with was Unity Day. Unity Day. Yeah, that's it. Unity Day. But usually, because Bellamy's voice is so low, for me anyway, you kind of have to have a relaxed diaphragm to speak lower. So it's kind of a cheat so I can slow down words. So yeah, things usually take me a little longer to say when I'm Bellamy. So yeah, that's kind of, it's not why I do it, but it's definitely handy.
Hello again.
Hello.
So earlier we talked about the social media backlash there was when Lexa was killed. I guess what would you say to the fans out there that threatened to quit the show after that happened? Like, what do we have to look forward to?
You know, I intentionally steered clear away from that stuff. Like, I understand the outrage and the sadness, but to be honest, with people saying they're just going to turn their back on the show and you know, kind of slandering the show, I'm not going to lie, like it hurt. That hurt. Like we all worked really hard on that show, and I understand that you're upset by this storyline, but sometimes, yeah, it was disappointing. But I do understand people being upset by it because it's a very topical issue, and I think that it should be addressed. But whether it's addressed in a kind of a backlash and anger towards the creator of the show. I don't think that's necessarily right. But yeah, I mean, of course we don't want to lose fans of the show. And on the show, we loved Alexa, and Alicia's great. You know, she's an amazing actress, or you know, an outstanding actor, and it was a real asset to have her. So it's sad losing her, and then having people say they're not going to watch the show anymore because she's gone. It's kind of like a you know, double impact. So yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to be the odd man out here and ask a non-show related question.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so if someone was to grab your iPod and go through your playlist, what song or artist would they see and go, holy crap, what is that doing on there?
Oh, right. iPod. Yeah, right. I haven't updated my iPod in about 8 years. But, who would they see on there and be surprised by? I mean, I like Pat Benatar and Kate Bush. Yeah, there was this one day me and Chris Larkin rocked into work just cranking Wuthering Heights. Yeah, oh yeah. But I think if you knew me, then you wouldn't be surprised by any of the stupid music that I have. I think you'd be more surprised that I've got T Swift on vinyl at home. True story.
Can't fault you for that, thanks.
Hey.
Hi, I was wondering if you could have any characters from another show come on The 100 or vice versa, what show would you choose?
Which characters would I want on the show?
Of like another show, to like crossover.
Another show. Because I was going to say Dr. Manhattan. I remember that he's my favorite superhero. I'd make him wear pants though. Man, characters from another show? Look, I've been watching a show called Happy-ish with Steve Coogan. I'd love Steve Coogan to be on our show. I don't think he'd enjoy it very much. But yeah, I'd like that. I mean, can I pick Tony Soprano? Because that'd be freaking awesome. Or Kramer. Just sliding through one of those arc doors. It'd be fabulous. I hope that helps. Sorry for being stupid, that's just the way I was born.
That's good. Good choices.
Thank you.
All right, now I know it's not Monday, but I have to ask, who's your man crush?
Monday.
Man
Oh,
Crush
woof. Monday. Man Crush Monday. I mean, it's every day. It's Richard Harmon. I love that guy. Or Sachin Sahil. He plays Jackson on the show. I mean, yeah, any of the boys, any of the men on the show. Yeah, they've become part of my family. But if I had to go to someone unshow related, probably Michael Fassbender. You seen Shane? Not me. Carry on. Yeah, Michael Fassbender. Cool. Can't wait for Monday.
Hello again. So how do you feel about Blark?
Oh, Blark. You know, I understand, I understand people's gravitational pull towards Blark. And the truth is, I love working with Eliza, and most of the scenes where Bellamy is at his most emotionally vulnerable are with Glum. He shares a lot with her, so I understand why people want to see those two together. She makes him a better person, or she makes him believe in himself, and did. So I get it. I completely get it. However, from my standpoint as Bellamy, I don't think it's a romantic relationship, but there's definitely, deep feelings there that they need each other, they rely on each other, and for some reason or another, he feels compelled to be open with her. So, and openness and being trustworthy are, some of the most important things when it comes to a relationship, and those two, for some reason or another, do open up and trust each other. So So yeah, I don't blame people for shipping Blah, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a romantic thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, no more questions? Look, I promise, hey, whoa, one word. Ask me some more questions so I can think of this one word.
How'd you get the scar on your
This scar? How did I get the scar on my face? I was bitten by a dog, actually. That's a true story. It was a, it was a Shih Tzu. It's big. Yeah, I should have said something like, yeah, it was a German Shepherd. It's saved the baby, but it's not true. It's a Shih Tzu. Hit my face right off. I had to get 8 stitches. Yeah, in there, I remember just watching all the needles go in, seeing my teeth all the way and my gums all the way up there. The Shih Tzu's name was Pojo. It was a family dog.
Oh no.
Yeah. He's dead now. Hey guys.
Hello again. So, before you were obviously cast on a very American, what I call with my mother, primetime soaps. You were an Australian soap star.
Yeah.
How is it, like, uprooting your life and coming to another country? Because you film in Canada, I get that. I understand that it's a complex world to adjust as an actor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily, like being on set is my most favorite place in the world, so that isn't such a big shift for me. Like when I get there, that's where I want to be. So I could be, you know, in Israel, I could be in, you know, Melbourne, or I could be in Vancouver. But as long as I'm on set playing a character, that is completely fine. The hardest bit of that, about being an actor, is being a gypsy and having to pack up your life and move to the other side of the world, or, you know, think that you're somewhere stable and then 3 months later you've got to be in Bulgaria, you know? That's the hardest part, you know, and then that's when having, like, really good friends and family, that's when that becomes really important, because it can be like a bit much. You do get homesick, and, you know, moving from Australia to the States in order to chase your dream, it's a tough decision to make, and it's a big decision to make, and it shouldn't be made lightly. But yeah, in terms of acting, I could be on any set in any country and I'd be happy. Yeah.
Well, we're happy it's working out for you so far.
Well, thank you very much, so am I. Hello.
Hi, I know we talked about this before, but do you want to explain your tattoo situation?
Oh, right. Yeah, so this tattoo I got in 2006, but they just, I don't know, this season they just decided that this is going to be the tattoo of the commander. And, you know, I mean, I love Lexa, but not to the extent where I get a tattoo of her on my arm. And apparently it's on revenge as well, so it turns out I've got a very generic tattoo. That's awesome, huh?
So did they get the idea from your tattoo?
You know, I'd like to say I was the inspiration behind the first commander. Yes, I was. I was the inspiration behind the first commander. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hello.
If you could bring any character who has died on the show back to life, who would it be and why?
Bringing someone back to life. You know, Richard and I were talking about this the other day, and we said Delano, or Delano, which, just as a joke, he's that idiot guy with one eye that stole Clark's watch. Anyway, forget about him. Someone to bring back. You know, I would have liked to have brought back, my goodness me, I've forgotten his name. Alex Pornovic is the actor. He played that giant grounder. Gustus. Yeah, I would have liked to see what Gustus would have done, because he was quite the enforcer. Had he not cared so much for Lex, it would have been cool to see how he would respond to everything else. And Alex is just a great guy. Also Tom, I mean, we've had such great cast on the show. It's sad to see any one of them go. That or Paonal, the big gorilla. He could still be alive, you know. He's trapped inside that zoo. Anyway.
Thank you.
It's been a long day, guys. I didn't have a great sleep. You know when I said strange things happen when you're sleep deprived? This is it. This is it.
Okay.
Hello.
Marvel or DC? And which character in those fandoms would you want to play?
Look, it's got to be DC and Dr. Manhattan. And have you read The Watchmen? Whoa.
Yeah.
It is an amazing book.
Okay, what about on the other side of things? If you had to.
If I had to.
Which character would you want to be on the other side?
On the other side, in Marvel?
Yeah.
Is that Marvel? Oh, yeah. I'd want to be Iron Man.
Well, if they reboot it in a few years, which I'm sure they would, you could totally be Iron Man.
Yeah, but you can't beat Robert Downey Jr. He's amazing.
I feel like some of the people here would disagree, though. Some of the people here would probably disagree.
They don't like Robert Downey Jr. Have you seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? Oh my God, that guy's amazing.
Okay.
He got nominated for an Oscar for Tropic Thunder. Are you kidding me? That's how good he is. Hello.
Hello again. So on the show a little bit, we explored at least up to New York and saw what it has become of New York now with after the apocalypse. Would you like the show to kind of explore more of the country and see, or even the world, and see what it's like in those places?
Yeah, you know, Ian Cusick, who plays Kane, worked on Lost for such a long time. He lives in Hawaii, and whenever winter rolls around, we're like, we should just like find Hawaii, guys, and shoot there. This is really cold. You know, there's I think they speak about this character called Luna being by the ocean at the end of season 1. And I was hoping that we'd go there and everyone would be playing beach volleyball and bikinis and stuff and getting tan. Yeah, I'd like to work somewhere warmer. No, but the forest is amazing. If we were to explore anywhere in the States, probably one of like the other national parks.
Colorado.
There we go, the Rockies. We'll just follow the Rockies all the way down from BC to here. There we go. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so if you weren't an actor, what would your job be?
Like I could just pick this job and I'd be good at it, or I'd actually have to work at it.
What would you enjoy?
I mean, if I was just good at it, like I'd probably want to be like a soccer player or something like that. You know, a professional sports person, a race car driver, you know. But if I had to work at it, then you know, I'd probably some job that I'd have to work at. Like, do I have to start now, or did I start it when I was like 18 when I started acting?
I don't know, anything you want.
I mean, there's a lot of variables. Because, you know, do I have to go study? Will I have a loan? Will I get to travel? No, I think I'd like to be like a sports person. I mean, it'd be pretty cool being a rock star, but I mean, that'd be quite daunting. I watched a documentary on Amy Winehouse the other day.